Hi, Jason Spangler here, the SanteeSwapper, back with another unboxing. This time I've got two packages for you that have been sitting in my office for quite a while now, and I've been kind of ready to open these. Both of them have very different stories. One of them is kind of small, the other one's pretty loaded. So want to get into these now and show you what I've got. This first one here is just a really small box. It was interesting. I got a message from this gentleman, and sometimes the conversations get kind of disjointed. There might be a week or two goes by before you get a reply back, and I think that's what happened in this case. The guy sent me the pictures. Apparently, he had gone to an estate sale and he had bought these scouting items. They weren't things that belonged to him or his family, but he had them, and then his wife was going through some health issues, and so that kind of broke off our communication for a little while. But eventually, we reconnected and made a deal for me to purchase this box from him. Now it's a small box. This is that little small flat rate box, but I think there's some nice old stuff in here. So let me pop this open and okay, so now you can see what's here in the box. And again, just a small bag of patches, but if I show you this side, you'll see kind of why I was interested in this. There's some nice old patches here, including right on the top, the nice old felt. So let me pull these out and we'll take a close look at them and see what this guy was able to rescue from this estate sale. All right. So a little beaded item here, and then there's a little bag of pins. I get a lot of these type of pins. These are rank pins, whether they were mother's pins or pins that would have been potentially worn on a uniform. And then also I think there's some Jamboree items here from the 53 Jamboree. Yeah, there's a coin and also a medal from the 53 Jamboree, which kind of tells you the time period that a lot of this stuff might go with. Now you saw this nice felt camp patch right off the bat. So this is a 1949 Tasomas. I'll have to look that one up. I don't have all these memorized. I know some people in our scouting memorabilia can name every camp, every lodge, every council. I know a few things, but I don't have it all memorized. And then a lot of this that you're going to see is just rounds. So let's take a look and see what we've got. So again, same. I believe that's a camp or a council name, Samoset. I want to say maybe that is a council up in like Wisconsin, which would make sense if there was a 1953 Canadian exploration. There's that. Here's a non-Boy Scout patch. I get these mixed in. I get a lot of military patches actually, but sometimes something like bowling or rifle or archery works as well. So a bunch of camp patches from this camp. Aha, yeah. So I've seen this before. This little cartoon character here, I don't remember the name of it, but I do know that Walt Disney, yes, that Walt Disney, was the person who drew this. And this was like an maybe early Disney thing. And that council then used that. So then here's a council patch for that council. Here's one that's been worn, and on the back it has the words 1953 written in. So this one's not exactly mint shape. A junior assistant scoutmaster patch. That's that 1950s cut. And there we go. I didn't even realize there'd be a military patch in here, but I'm almost sure this is a military patch. What I can do with this is use Google Lens and take a picture of this with my phone, and it should be able to show me similar images, and hopefully I can pinpoint that. So, again, more Samoset Council. These are probably all camp patches. Interesting to me that there's so many. So, in multiple years, he has multiple patches. So, either someone who bought extras to trade, that's typically why you would have that, or another possibility was this was an adult and he would have been like the leader of the troop, and at the end of the week he would have gotten the patches to distribute to the boys, and maybe there's some left over. Again, more of these extra patches from there, and then more from 1952, some duplicates there, and more of these here. So again, a bunch of these Samoset guys. And then another bowling patch. I'm not quite sure what I'll do with a bowling patch, but and then here's some cool stuff. So I've always been interested in Order of the Era patches, and this is Lodge 96, Tom Kitachara. Both of these, just check them. Yep. So both of these are from the 50s, and I believe that one of these is like the X1. We give everything numbers in this hobby because we have to catalog all the patches. So these are nice, in really good shape. Those will be good. And then here's a Chikagami camp. There's actually several camps, if you were to look in the reference books, that have had the name Chikagami. So it's not just one camp. But I can probably, based on where this stuff is from, go in and find a Camp Chikagami that would be somewhere up in there. But this is a 1947, again, another nice looking patch. And Samoset, more stuff from here, some camporee patches. So, back from that time period, these would have been felts. And here's a good example of one that's felt that some little critter took a couple of notches out of. And again, another one there. So again, it's a whole bunch of the felt camporee patches, which, to someone not from that council, it's not going to mean anything to us. But if someone was from that area, they might really appreciate getting these felt camporee patches. I know if I was from that council, I would be interested in that. This is a luggage tag, Chicago Region Crew, SCCA, Road America. I think this might be more of that bowling stuff. I'll have to see if SCCA or whatever is a bowling reference, but that would be my guess there. And then this guy here, this is an old Explorer position patch. And without looking it up, I'm guessing this would have been like the youth, maybe the youth leader of the Explorer post. The name's escaping me right now, what you would call that. But anyways, crew leader or something like that. Some paperwork here. What this would be. These little collections you never quite know. Oh, this is like a list of his patches, and it has the quantity. So this is on some little graph paper, which is kind of clever. And the only other thing here to stand out is there's a community strip. So this type of khaki and red community strip would have been from that time period, late 40s, early 50s. And you see the name of the town. And then here's a picture of somebody whitewater rafting, which if that was me and I was, whitewater rafting, that would have been pretty cool. This is the guy's name from I purchased it from, and then obviously Wisconsin. So again, you kind of put these two together. That's going to be your name of the town and community there. And so the only other thing here, a couple of random 1950s era camping, cooking, Samoset button, and some felt Cub Scout patches, and a Region 7, original Region 7 patch. So altogether, a really nice collection. 100% of it looks like it's from Wisconsin. So let me kind of put this back, and then we'll open up the next box. Okay, ready to open the next boxes. I actually have two boxes from the same lady. Interesting thing here, this lady was living in Florida. Again, sometimes there's a little bit of a squirrely story. I was speaking to this lady. She was really, really in the midst of moving, and so it was a little bit of a hasty thing. There was a friend of hers, a neighbor, who was trying to help as well, take pictures, send me pictures. We ended up working it out. She was on her way to Alaska. So what ended up happening was she mailed this stuff to me from Florida. I'm pretty sure if I looked at the origin address, it would be Florida. But I mailed her payment for the deal to Alaska, where she was headed. So hopefully it caught up with her. I didn't hear anything back from her, so I think that everything worked out just fine. So, but I'm pretty sure that these were from her husband. And you can imagine somebody who's going to be moving. I think she was moving to get closer to family. That she would be trying to get that done. So here's a nice note from her. And you can see here, this is going to be kind of a mixture of stuff. So we'll see what we've got. This is, of course, a pair of scout pants. Oh, nice. Here's some interesting stuff here. Oh, nice. Okay. Some pictures of her husband. And then her son's Eagle Scout Court of Honor. So personal stuff there. Probably don't want to share on YouTube. Some more pants. These are the classic pants from the 1950s is when I date them, early 60s maybe, that have that red piping on them. For those of you who've watched some of my videos, you'll know that I sold a bunch of stuff to a Hollywood costumer who was working with the Fabelmans. And it just so happens that this was the exact style that they wanted for the movie. And so all the characters in the Fabelmans who were dressed in scouting uniforms had this style of uniform with the red piping. And similarly, they had this style with the cotton shirts with the, what do you call that? Oh, cool. Check this out. Nice Lodge 127 flap. And then Camp Emerson. So Camp Emerson, this is out in California. So, sometimes this kind of happens. I mentioned Florida and Alaska, but then it looks like her husband did his scouting in California. So there you go. People get around, right? A couple of neckerchiefs here. And then another, it's an Eagle Scout. Another one. So I think that's a really beautiful looking flap. So this is Tahoma Lodge. And so Idlewild, California, Camp Emerson again. honor camper and staff. So that's very cool, and I like that flap there. And then here's a really super thin scout belt. Like, oh my gosh, no, I think this must be like a hat band for a campaign hat. 2001 National Scout Jamboree, because there's no buckle or anything on it, so that has to be a hat band. Although I was at that jamboree and I don't remember seeing one. Then here's a couple of books, a Cub Scout book and a Scout book. And then we got one more box. This box is a little bit heavier. This one has, I think it weighs about 8 pounds. So we've already seen some books in here in this collection and some uniforms. I'm not sure what would be in this box, but let's take a look. Okay. So again, some more notes on top from her. Let's see what that is. Check that out. Okay, so we got maybe some more. There's a little bit more modern stuff here, which might make sense if the guy was doing scouting with his son. And let's kind of see what we've got. So some Ordera flaps. These all look to be pretty, 1990s ish. So here's like a 97 sewn JSP from Circle 10 Council. Sometimes looking at the patches, you can kind of get an idea of where the person had been and what they'd done. So definitely somebody went to this jamboree, whether it was their son, which might be likely, or maybe this guy went as a leader. And yeah, Blue Water Council, Michigan, Scout Collectors Society. Oh, that's interesting. So the Scout Collectors Society was one of these sort of like internet groups that popped up for a brief amount of time. And there's a little bit of a story there. I think I've got a podcast somewhere about it. If you're really curious, you can go look that one up. But these are pretty much all JSPs with a few regular CSPs from that time period. And you can kind of see here, there's a couple of these Western region, which could indicate that maybe they were still living out in California or maybe in Alaska at the time that he was doing this. So I'm not sure. You didn't get to kind of piece together the collection. So, all right, see what we got here. This looks to be like just some paperwork kind of from scouting, a jamboree map. Yeah, just stuff from the Jamboree, a new Jamboree newspaper, and then I've seen this before. This is a little cute map. Got our good old ordeal sack. Everybody's got one of those. Yeah, somebody did a lot of trading. Look at all this trading the guy did at 2001 National Scout Jamboree. Got the brick there. So I won't mention all of these, but there's a whole stack of OA flats, bunch of JSPs, more CSPs, and then here's a little bit of Alaska stuff. I thought there was some Alaska stuff in this collection. So here's a bag here with the Nanuk from 2001, and then a card from someone, and some CSPs, JSPs, like that. I have a helper here. Do you want to come get on camera?
On camera.
All right, so we'll squat down so they can see you. This is my daughter, Sophia, who's helping me in the office today. Okay, back from my little distraction there. So again, bricks of stuff he traded for at the 2001 Jamboree here and here and here, which is so much fun. I went to the 2024 National Scout Jamboree, and this is what I did. Just took a bunch of stuff to trade, sat down a blanket, and just traded one for one. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. That's what this guy was doing, I think. Here's some neckerchief slides. These are definitely older ones, like some Neil slides, for example. And I've seen this one from the Philippines, this little bull, a few times before. Some more patches from the Jamboree, some coins and tokens and other things, probably a belt buckle in there. Oh, yeah, this definitely, this bag was from the Alaska contingent. Because we saw one bag already, but then here, this tells you what he was trading at the Jamboree. Here's his Nanuk OA flap, and then his Western Alaska one here. So I'll stick those back in. That's really nice. Stuff from Alaska is not necessarily rare, but people, I think that just if you're trading out in the wild at a jamboree or something, trading for something that's from Alaska or from another country is kind of, a little bit exotic. And so people tend to favor that. More stuff from 2001. I guess his Alaska stuff was trading really well. Would have done well there. And then here's a little banded group of just council shoulder patches. Maybe a few of them are JSPs. Man, this is a great kind of bread and butter collection for me because it's just lots and lots of patches, but from all over. I don't necessarily collect any specific ones of these, but it's really fun to get them from all over. And some more stuff here from Nanuk. So again, I guess I need to wait till the next Jamboree. I'll have a bunch of these Western Alaskas to trade. And then this was their regular Nanuk flap with a polar bear, which is always kind of cool. And then here's some of their calico shoulder patches. What is this? Is this like a Jamboree? Boy, I've had struggle to read that, but there's a little baggie that has the exact same pin in it. It's a really small pin, but I'm wondering if this was a Jamboree contingent pin that maybe went with their patches. I'll have to look and see. All right, then he's got just more from the Jamboree. So again, whole giant collection from the Jamboree. This looks to be like just some name tag holders from the 2001 Jamboree. And then in the bottom here, there's just another OA sash and yeah, nothing else really there. So anyways, this is a great bread and butter collection for me. I was at this Jamboree just as a visitor. I didn't stay the whole time or anything like that. It was kind of an in-between time where I was already married, but we didn't have children yet. So I think I just went up and visited, maybe traded a few patches, but it's all good. I have good memories of all the Jamborees at AP Hill. Well, check out my website, scoutpatchcollectors.com. There you can find more videos. You can find my newsletter, all the things I'm doing in scouting. Jason Spengler, the SanteeSwapper. Thanks for watching.